Okay, well, we're trying to work that out. Welcome to Happy Hour, guys. This is Jasmine Diaz, celebrity matchmaker. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Glad to have you. Glad to have you here. Happy Hour is a show where we dish on dating and relationships with some of your favorite celebrities, talking about all things love and everything else in between. Today we have a very special new guest. Her name is Chef Ameera. She's a lifestyle and wellness expert. She works with some of the most amazing people in the industry, like P. Diddy, Rihanna, R. Kelly. Excuse me, not R. Kelly. What am I talking about? I'm losing my mind. Kelly Rowland. Jesus, Demi Lovato, and Common, just to name a few. Today we're picking up on last week's chat where we were talking about wellness, but we're going to talk about clean living and the role that food has on our relationships as well as dating. So we're going to tune on into Chef Amir. But before we do that, happy hour wouldn't be happy hour without a drink. So today I am sipping on Boozy Tea by Al's Brew. It's a really interesting drink. Get yourself a refresher. And as we have our conversation, anytime you hear the word food, I want you to go ahead and take a sip. We're trying to keep it light and keep it fun. I see Chef Ameera is here. So go ahead and send us a request so that we can go ahead and get you into the conversation. So much to talk about. I'm super excited. Glad to have you all here. So, meantime, while we're waiting for Chef Ameera to send in a request, if you have any questions for her as things come along, please feel free to use the little box below and leave us a comment because we want to get your opinions and thoughts answered as we go along. I will try my best to stay on top of these questions. If for some reason we don't get to them, I'll try and do that once we wrap up. All right. So here we go. In the house. Hello, hello. Mm-mm-mm-mm. See if we got you.
I'm here. I literally, I literally just got in from my client's house. So,
No
yes.
problem. How are you?
You know what? I'm really good.
God is good.
Yes. God is good and I'm well. Oh, did I go upstairs and take my charger and forget it? Because my phone's going to die.
No worries, no problems. Well, I'm glad we could get together. It's been so long since I've seen you.
I know it has been such a long time, but guess what? I am here.
Yeah.
And, I'm thank you for having me on. I'm actually going to go up my room because I think I left my charger there.
Yeah, go for it. Go for
I'll
it.
have happy hour in my bedroom.
No, it's okay. I'm actually doing that myself today. I was like, okay, where can I do this and be a little bit more comfortable, you know? So that's cool. So how are you and the girls and, how's life in quarantine?
Well, I mean, I'm an essential worker. So
Right.
I'm still with clients. Okay, I didn't bring my charger up here. Okay, this is really funny.
Mhm.
And the girls are great. My oldest she is my creative director. So we've been working on some new things that I'm going to be launching. And my youngest just got her acceptance to USC. So she will
Yes,
be going to
congrats.
USC. So thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm very excited for her because she worked hard for it. And
Yeah.
it's what she wanted. Actually, she got accepted to a lot of schools, but that was like the best deal on the table. And it's USC.
Yeah. She's close to home. You don't got to worry about her going out of country or out of state.
Exactly. Yeah, she already knew. No, we knew she wasn't going out of state. She was like,
Yeah.
no, because she wanted to be with me.
Well, I know it's been a while since we talked, and I remember years ago you introduced me to a vegan restaurant in the Valley, and that's been like my spot ever since.
The station?
Yes.
That's my favorite.
And
It's my favorite place for one. There's other places, but like really their food is clean and energetically it's just so on point.
yeah.
I'm all about the energy of the food.
No, I get that. And a fun fact, so during the discussion when we had lunch, you kind of broke it down for me about milk. right?
Mm-hmm.
And after that conversation, like my whole life changed about like milk, dairy products, all of that. Some of it messed me up, I'll admit, but
And I can't remember what it was, but that is what I do. I drop the gems and plant the seeds for transformation. So I'm glad that you were transformed. And at least it
yes.
can make, I mean, it's just not even so much you need to change your lifestyle, but I think just having that information, you can just make a better informed choice as to what you want to put in your body because,
Yeah.
we're not told the truth about anything.
No, we are not. You always seem to be someone who's really connected to food. Like, where does that passion come from?
It comes from my DNA. So of
Yeah.
course I wasn't always like this, but even I think back like when I was 19 and,
Right.
I was just like I used to live in North Hollywood and there used to be this place on off of Magnolia and Lancashire called or closer to Vineland called Herb Products Company. So I used to get my herbs from there and I had my
Hmm.
herb books. I'm like just all of a sudden, oh my goodness, I want these herb books. And so that was just literally my DNA was like, okay, it's time, like little planting little seeds. And when I'm trying to think, I mean, I'm always like, I've eaten quote unquote healthy. Like I had my vegetables. My mom did that. She cooked meals, but it wasn't
Right.
until my father passed in 2011 that I was, just out. Like everybody has these spiritual awakenings. It was my spiritual awakening, and from there, like actually right before then, as a matter of fact, 9 years ago, like around this time was when I first like my spirit was like, you need to go vegan raw. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it, and literally I was changed in like after a week. And then maybe about, I don't know, about a year later or so, I went vegan raw for about 2, 3 years. And, it transformed me. I transformed my cells. I was able to see things differently. And
Right.
yeah, now we're here. And I do like actually this week, I happen to be doing like my second round of Elevate Your Vibration. It's a chakra cleanse. So really understanding like food has energy properties. So it is connected to your energy when you eat certain things, like really when you eat vegan raw and even more raw and you're
Yeah.
eating certain juices and you're eating certain things. And there's like, I even have certain times we're waking up and we do our Zoom calls because during that time, there's just like really a window energetic
Hmm.
heavens that's open. So if you're looking for change, this is what I do. Like,
Yeah.
food is, food, everything is spiritual. I see the spiritual aspect of everything.
Right.
And so, yeah, so like it literally, we just happen to be doing it again this week. And, it's amazing. I have a group of amazing, men and women.
Yeah.
Actually, I say women and men. There are a few kings who joined us on this round and
Right.
everyone is having transformation. Everybody's great. And, yeah, so
Yay.
food, there's certain foods that really will I guess when it comes to relating or dating,
Mhm.
that would, certain things that you'd want to stay away from or certain things that you can eat that really opens up your energy centers.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to get into that a little bit later because you are like the perfect person for that conversation. So I know with like everyone self-quarantining and you working with like some of the big names, are you noticing much of the change from like how you're working with your clients or for them? No, everything's the same.
Quite honestly, I'm not the one. Like I am not the one. I don't like, and I understand everything that's going on. Believe me, I do, and I also
Yeah.
understand the propaganda that's going on in it. I've done my research. I looked at the numbers, and I know what it is. And quite honestly,
Mhm.
a lot of the things that they're telling us to do that have to be done actually it compromises your immune system. It's going to make you actually sicker, which is part of the plan. But let's just
Mhm.
stay on your topic. So
No,
let's
I
stay
hear
on your
that.
topic. Let's do that.
So I kind of feel like with everything that's happened, like it's kind of like the same appreciation that people have for teachers. They're appreciating like chefs, too. People who are in restaurants and like pulling in and doing the work because people aren't used to cooking. Do you feel like there's like a change that's going to occur with like the at-home chef, since this is going on?
There might be. I mean, right now it's like people are I mean, at the end of the day, we really can determine. You really, because people are telling us what to do. Like you can determine that. So people might want more chefs to come in and cook, because unfortunately there are going to be a lot of restaurants, probably even our favorite restaurants, that are not going to be able to open after this.
Yeah.
So you probably might see an influx of the private chefs, and they might go into the private chef space, um,
Yeah.
give more of that intimate experience within the home. So, you know, I can definitely see, I mean, guess and appreciate, I mean, everybody's appreciating everything more. So really just understanding really what goes on. You know, you think you go to your restaurant and you go sit down and you eat and you get served and realizing like, no, they were prepping. Some of that stuff was prepped the day before or prepped like
Yeah.
that. Like meal takes like to have it look like that. It really takes a lot of hours that goes into that. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, everyone is being asked to adjust right now, and we're all being asked really just to elevate.
Yeah, the meal prep, it's oh, but I can't. I mean, as a chef, like this is what you do, you know,
It is
and
what
it's
I do.
part of like, so for you, it's very easy, but I imagine for a lot of us at home who are like, you know, takeout queens, not necessarily
I would love
really
to
being good
hear
at it.
actually the challenges because then I can create a solution for you. That's what this
Yeah,
is what I do all the time. I do amazing
yeah,
food, but also like preparation is key. Even as I have my sous chef with me, and there's things that even I'm still teaching her, like, no, do it like that, how you want to prep stuff out, how you want to even retain most of the nutritional value of the food. You know,
yeah.
there's levels to it. So yeah, you put me that list of you know, ask all your girlfriends who are takeout queens, and then we can, you know, get together and we can do like a Zoom cooking, and we can go through some recipes. I can
Yes.
package it up how you're going to do certain things, and also have it looking great as well. We want the food to look good, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
You don't want
So
to cook
last,
it until like the broccoli until it's yellow. It should still be bright
no,
green, but there's a process to make it like that.
wow. You know, every time I see your like Instagram, anything you make, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I wish I had $1 million to afford you because what you make looks phenomenal. But in addition to that, I know how you feel about clean living and like health and wellness. So I know it's healthy for you. But it seems like you have been kind of like a person who's a champion for like eating well long before it was like popular.
Glad you
Like
said
what
that. I am so
I,
glad you said that, honey. Because yes, I literally was
I've
saying,
noticed.
yes, even like I mean, sea moss is popular now. I was like, I've been on sea moss since 2015. Was talking about it, and that you know is part of what I do. So I just stopped talking about it. You know, I love
Yeah.
it. My Elevate Your Vibe tribe is in the house. Yes, sweetheart. Yes, they
Yes.
are here. Yeah, so I was talking about it before it was, you know, or at least within, you know, I think there's even different sector, you know, groups, and like within our group, like it wasn't thing. Now it's everybody's talking about healthy, and it's not even really healthy. I'm like, just because it's vegetables don't make it healthy, quite honestly. You know, there's
Right.
things that really go into really, because if we just even break down the word health or healthy,
Hmm.
that would be
Hmm.
heal. Like, so that means that it would have to heal the body to be healthy, period.
Yeah. Speak on that. No, I definitely remember maybe like 10 years ago, some of the things that you were talking about and the food you were already making. Now it's like, okay, we want to be plant-based. I'm like, hold on, Chef Ameera was talking about this, like, you know. So I
Yes, and
know
the
it's been
kale and all of that. And that was
oh, for
literally, I can tell you
sure.
the kale salad, that was like everybody, Kelly Rowland, like everybody loves the kale salad. And I'm like, it is so simple.
Hmm.
But I mean, but it's, yeah, literally the combination and literally the energy. At the end of the day, intentions are everything. We must do everything with intention. So I put
Hmm.
intentions and I put the right energy into, you know, my food, even if it is meat.
Yeah.
Because I'm not one who's like, I don't think you should eat meat because some of the plant-based items to me are so overly processed. You might as well really just go get you the best quality meat, and it's gonna do your body better. Unless you're like PETA, then that's a little different, you know. But
For
as far as
sure.
like health wise, like if something like the more processed something is, the worse it is for your body.
That's a really good point. So what drew you to like this lifestyle? I know as opposed to other chefs who kind of have their own things that they preach, but what was it for you that made you want to lead like the more healthy, clean life?
It just was, I mean, it's something in my DNA. We all like wake up that like one day it's like, okay, I had this calling, and I had that calling, and it's part of what I do. It's part of, like, you could say even my, like, I'll say it's a food ministry, but that's just, the food is the gateway. It's like the gateway drug, but
Yeah.
it's so many other things. Like that's what, you know, even some of my lovely tribe members have said, like they came for the food, but they got so much more, because it is so much more when you have, when you understand those other things, then you will stop putting so much emphasis on food, or stop having like food addictions, or really you're going to have a different relationship with food. Everything we have relationships with. So we just have to really examine this relationship that we have with food, you know, and make a
Yeah.
healthier relationship. It's not that you can't
Totally
have
right.
certain things. Like if I want to have cookies, I'm gonna have cookies. Right now I'm not, because I know I'm cleansing and I'm disciplining myself because I have a goal. Like there's something that I want on the other end of that. So for me, I'm mastering myself, my emotions on not to eat certain things. That's within myself. But after, if I want to have a cookie, I'll have a cookie. I
Yeah.
just won't eat it every single day, just because I have done that and I know exactly how it makes me feel.
Yes, so this is definitely like leading to my next question, which was, how we look, how we feel, plays a part in the relationships that we have. And like, so I wanted to know from like your point of view, like what role does food have with dating and the relationships? I know just from my own perspective, but you're the chef.
Well, I can tell you from a chef and from somebody who actually, it's been a while since I've gone on a date, but for
Uh-huh.
me, I always will tell like men, like fine dining is a prerequisite. So if you're like, I don't do all that, then guess what? It's not going to work out between us, period.
Right.
Like I can already let you know that right now. You can call it whatever you want to call it. That's something I do for myself. So if
Right.
you're not a part of that equation, it's not going to work. Now that things have changed, I mean, you might be having to get a private chef. So or you
Yeah.
might have to hire one of the chefs for my company because they know exactly how I like my food. That probably will work out best. But I believe that food, because it is, I mean, it's nourishing. It's also dealing with, even if we want to deal with the senses, you just like contacting with the mouth, which definitely is, can be arousing. Food is everything. Food is it brings communities together. So of course, even dating, like understanding someone's food preferences, and like it is a very big deal. And
Yeah.
even somebody's food preferences, like I mean, even now you have some people who are plant-based or vegan, and if somebody eats meat, they're told like, ew. So of course that right there is going to be a determining factor as well. Like I don't
Yeah.
eat pork, but if you eat pork, that's fine. Like just don't, if you about to kiss me or we about to be together, just don't eat no pork. I'm cool. Go do what
That's
you want
right.
to do. Go get them worms in your body if you want to. Just you're like,
No,
I'll
I
put
hear
that
you.
in there. Let me
No,
stop.
I
Let
hear
me
you.
stop. I've been on one today. I have really been on
No,
one today.
it's okay. Well, I know it's kind of like, food has that connection to mood. Like me, I know, for example, like when I don't have breakfast in the morning, I tend to be more moody.
Mm-hmm.
My sugar's dropping, I'm impatient. Like, are there some specific types of food that people can have to, like, if I wanted to go on a date and be like my best mental self, is there types of things that I should indulge more in or less in?
Well, I'm definitely gonna say, I mean, keep it simple and keep them whole. For one, even getting into your breakfast, like breakfast means you're breaking a fast. So if you are feeling like that, then we should talk, because then there's little imbalances. So
Yes,
there's some things
I'm
that you
very
can do.
imbalanced
Like
right
for
now.
me, I don't even eat. I don't even eat probably until maybe like the earliest, if I'm
Mhm.
wanting to eat, is like 11 o'clock, because my body actually has been fasting overnight. I'm giving my body time to break down what it ate the day before.
Right.
So if we are thinking about something, you want to go on a date, and for me, I'm just gonna say, like, so we're talking about like before, like, or just in general, like the day
I
before,
mean,
like
like I recognize that like food and mood are connected.
exactly.
So it's kind of like if I want to get my mood right, is there some
I'm
kinds of
gonna
foods that
say, like,
maybe
you need, then if that's the case, then you need some living foods, because you
right,
want your energy right. You don't want to be eating a bunch of heavy stuff. I would keep it like, do the smoothie, have like a dope, just a really sexy salad, and then
yeah,
you're gonna go on dinner. Like you're gonna keep it light and keep it sexy and keep living foods in, and you're gonna be right. Like you don't want to eat a bunch of other stuff, like, oh my goodness, my stomach. No, keep it sexy. That's what you're gonna do. Salads, fruits, and yeah, and like a something like a protein smoothie in the morning, so even you don't eat too much when you go out. How
right,
can you cleanse after eating pork? Oh, parasite cleanse and a few other cleanses. Hit me in a DM, I'll let you know. Yeah,
yeah.
yes, that pork the worms is something serious,
No, I believe you. I feel like anytime I talk to you about food, it completely shifts my whole everything. So I'm kind of scared.
Well, right now, I mean, you see, they're talking about all the, everybody's testing for COVID and these plant things, which I don't understand why they're not at the vegan factories, but that's a whole nother subject. But,
Yeah.
like they're trying to limit meat, probably trying to get you guys some of that meat that they've been growing in factories, but that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no. So if you are someone who's trying to make a transition, because for a lot of people, like changing to a plant-based diet or a vegan lifestyle is like, for
No,
someone who doesn't.
that's just because you
Oh,
don't know. But it's very, very simple. Like literally the things that
right,
I make, like even when I have my clients who I have one client on the weekend, like I'm with Common on the weekends and he is
right.
plant-based, but not everybody around him is. So I make sure all the sides are all plant-based and then I'll make, something main that's vegan. And then I have whatever, like I do chicken or fish for anybody else who eats that. So it's
Hmm.
really understanding your substitutes. Like how are you going to start to substitute things out? Like there, you
Yeah.
can do some of the same things, and some things like even I can do a good vegan mac. To me, just macaroni and cheese need to be just macaroni and cheese. There's things that I'm
Right.
just like, it's good, but it's just not macaroni. It's
It's
not
just not the
macaroni and
same.
cheese. Period.
Right.
Period. It's not. Like it's close, but it's not.
Hmm.
If I can never eat macaroni and cheese again, it would do. But if I can have the choice, I'm gonna choose the regular mac over the vegan mac.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have this idea that the transition is greater because they see only the losses. Like, okay, I'm going to be losing this, but they're really not
At
losses.
all. But then you just said
Right,
that very key mindset. It's the
right.
mindset. If you think that you're losing something, then already just the human mind doesn't like to lose anything. That's already just a lack mentality. So if you can think about what you're gaining and then find the right substitutes, because I use I'm telling you, some things people don't even realize that it's vegan. Like
Hmm.
even if you go cook meat and don't put any seasoning, don't put anything on it, and tell me if you still want it. You don't. So, and
Right.
it's really the flavor. Just like I even do a plant-based, fried chicken that I use an oyster mushroom. Tastes just
Hmm.
like, actually, even I've had people that I've had the vegan fried chicken and the regular fried chicken in the same setting. And they eat the vegan first and they go eat the chicken. And they say they like the vegan better because it's not as heavy,
Mm.
because it's really it's more like the crunch. Like fried chicken, it's not so much that you want the meat, you want like the skin and like that. And that's really what
Yeah,
you get when I do the vegan
it's
fried
the
chicken.
experience. It's the
Exactly.
experience
It's
really
all
that you're
about the
caring the most
experience
about.
and just the outer, just the crispiness and the season,
Hmm.
and that's really what people want, not the meat.
Right. So is there like some dishes that clients, family even like the most that you make frequently?
Well, I kind of switch it up a bit, because I don't want my clients getting bored. And then that's me, because usually, quite honestly, most like wealthy people, they don't want a bunch of different things. That's like
Right.
hood rich stuff. Like somebody who's hood rich, I want to eat something different every day. Dude, who does that? Like seriously.
Right,
So,
right.
I would say, I mean, lots of veggies. I do a lot of veggies for my clients. I love broccolini. I'm trying to think what I did today. I almost kind of I made like a sauce that was like, oh, what's the name of that Cajun dish? Etouffee, like an etouffee kind of sauce,
Mhm.
but I made it vegan. And I did that, like I had roasted up. I did like kind of like some Cajun chicken, and I put that
Mhm.
sauce over the chicken. I also put it over some seared halibut that I did. I just kind of switch it up. It's just, it's yeah, I don't have yeah, I mean Asian, Caribbean. I'm kind of go with the flow. Whatever
Yeah,
my spirit is feeling. My clients are, unless my client might be like, okay, I want some Mexican this time, or like occasionally they tell me that, but they let me have full range when I'm cooking.
that's really awesome. I mean, so when you come home after doing all of that work, like what is like food like for you? I mean, you would spend a living doing this. So like
Yeah,
what are
so
your personal meals
hmm,
like?
that's the like, and so actually, it's been interesting that I have actually been cooking for myself, like actually nourishing myself, like
Yeah.
this cleanse.
Yeah.
Um, I usually when I come home, my kids usually are like, "Oh man, what is there to eat?" And I
Hmm.
look like, girl, you better Postmates or something. But I just don't like. For me, I've been lately. I have like if things are prepped out, like what I will do is since I have like these few, I'll go on my clients instead of me doing every day like I used to do.
Hmm.
We do 2 days a week. And so like on those other days, usually I'll like prep out some stuff, maybe have like my onions chopped and have everything. So if I want to make something, it's only going to take me like 20 minutes to make something. Like preparation is
Yeah.
key. And that's how they're able to do it at restaurants is everything is prepped out. The onions are cut, your parsley is cut, all your ingredients are already pre-prepped in the refrigerator. And if you can do that, like you can have like a fresh meal. Sometimes for me, I don't really like leftovers. I'm not a big leftover person. So
Hmm.
I so So that right there is like 20 minutes. And then, you know, throw it in the dishwasher or have, you know, my kids do the dishes because I don't do
Yeah.
dishes.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of funny to hear that you're like, I'm not doing all that work
Not
for yourself.
I already have done it, and it just I
Yeah.
and like when I feel it, I will do it, but I have to really like really look how I'm allocating my energy, and
Yeah.
I just can't do too much, especially after my accident. Like I really have been very, you know, I've been very mindful as where my energy is going.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So with everyone kind of on lockdown and like food resources are limiting, is there like some specific staples that people can have at home that they can kind of cook up to still maintain that healthy life? Because it's hard, I will admit. I mean, like, I just get what I can get my hands on.
You know what? Okay, so here I want to talk about that. I'm gonna post a video because
Yeah.
like okay, so here's the truth bomb is that there's no limited limitations of anything but just
Mhm.
perceived, like they're
Right.
purposely limiting things. Because when I went on there, I get it, it was, oh my goodness, scarcity. And Mother's Day, when things kind of opened up, there was like an abundance. I was like, oh, we collecting these coins this weekend, huh? Oh, I see what you're all about. Oh, I see
Right.
exactly. Like literally, I saw the manipulation of the minds of people. There is no limitation. But if we're gonna go on that, so if
Hmm.
you're a rice person, make sure you have your rice. If you like beans, have your beans. If you like, you know, even like things like hummus, or I'm not hummus, chickpeas. I like to do things with
Right.
chickpeas. If you like to have your meats, then get a few of it and like already cut it out in portions and individually put them in bags. So it's only going to take you maybe like 20 minutes to defrost it. Don't defrost in the microwave. Just put it in some
Mhm.
water and defrost it. You know, what else? I mean, I like lots of veggies. So I mean, I'm fine. If there's nothing else, I can always do veggies. Avocado. I would just have an avocado and a
Yeah.
tomato salad with some hemp seeds, and I'm good. And it's like literally, you would think that you're eating a steak. Like it's, you know, that amazing.
You would make it taste like a steak. The
But
rest
I
of
can tell
us.
you how to make it taste like a steak as well. Like literally, it's gonna hit all the senses. Yes. Oh my. Yes.
Mhm.
To elevate my tribe is all up in here. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
see them. They're
Yes.
great. They are
That's our
totally
they
awesome.
vibrate high. That's what I mean. At the end of the day, that's what we all need to do. We need to vibrate higher. Period. And how do you do that? And I'm not saying that you can't eat certain things, but you've got to, you know, you've got to like cleanse your temple. You know, you've
Yeah.
got to cleanse. Now is the time. Like most people have not cleansed. You've got to cleanse your temple. This is how many who drives their car all year long without an oil change or getting a tune-up.
Yes.
And if you do,
So
is your
right.
car running?
Mm.
No, it's not.
You're right.
So literally,
Speaking of cleanses.
the car was designed after the human body. Hey,
Yeah.
Halima.
Yes. You were so right. So speaking of your cleanse, since you mentioned you were cleanse, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
My cleanse, elevate your vibration.
Mhm.
It's a cleanse for the chakras.
Okay.
So each day, today we are on the sacral chakra, which is why I have on. I was like, it's funny because this actually has been sitting, hanging up on my bed for the past week. I'm like, oh, look at my higher self already knew I was gonna need to wear for this right here. So today is a sacral chakra. Each day I have it's 14 days. But we did 7 days before. Each day we go through the chakra and we really go into the emotions that are connected to it. I attune the chakra. I activate the chakra with. I have my sound bowls. You know, that's part of the healing. I used to do it in past lives, and I'm bringing it back into this life. And we
Hmm.
clear it out, and we process our emotions. Most people are not taught to process their emotions. They hold on to it, and therefore you
Yeah.
keep attracting these different things. Whatever was within you, you're going to keep attracting. So we're clearing it out. We're processing it. We're digesting it, and we are taking that energy that is, I would say, just less. It vibrates less than love and just recycling it so that it turns into the light. Like that's really what it is, because nothing is
Yeah.
never lost or destroyed. It transfers from one thing to another. So it's really about processing just these lower emotions into higher vibrating frequencies. And that's exactly what this cleanse does, because we're going energetically through each gateway. We're activating it so you can release the energy. And eating raw foods literally requires just less processing for your body to do. Like, and actually is
Yeah.
living foods are for living beings. We are living beings. And that's why we have a lot of people walking, like really The Walking Dead was about a lot of people just eating dead stuff. They're processing dead thoughts. They're
Yeah.
like living off of a system that's programming them to be walking dead. So, you know, I'm here to
Yeah.
do something different.
How frequently do you suggest people do a cleanse? Is it like a quarterly,
I
annually?
would suggest you cleanse every 3 months. Even
Okay.
just starting there, like, starting great. Let's do vegan raw. Okay, now let's really get into the blood, and something even within this, using like Pau d'Arco tea is something simple because it cleanses the blood. The blood
Yeah.
runs through the entire body. So if you are doing that's just a very simple one. Then we can get into, like, my next phase of this is the parasite cleanse. The parasite cleanse is no joke. But once you get rid of those parasites, literally you're going to be like, yo, I don't even want to eat that anymore. Like, most of the
Yeah.
food cravings you have are not even you, they're parasites.
That just hurt me.
Yeah.
That really hurt my spirit right there.
Oh,
But
yes.
you're right. You are totally right. And I think that, if we kind of like connect this to how people operate in relationships, how they, just interchange with people, there is definitely that connection or that tie-in to the things that we're ingesting
Yeah.
as well, and the energies that we're holding on to, as well. So I think what you're saying is fantastic. It's just really great overall. Since we're on this and everyone's kind of chiming in, if you have any questions for Chef Ameera, please do. So I'm
Yes,
gonna
drop them in
kind
the
of move.
box. I think there's like a
Yes,
question,
please
like, little
compliment.
thing. If you guys have
So
questions.
yes, I have a couple of like more rapid fire questions for
Okay.
you. They're kind of like a mix in between like dating stuff mixed in with like, chefy stuff.
And I just
So
want to thank everybody who is
yeah.
commenting, who is adding just energy to this
Yes.
dialogue. Thank you so much. We see it, and I'm going to go back through. If you guys have any questions or whatever, yes. And Chris, you mentioned that sacral chakra has been so powerful. And when we talk about dating, the sacral chakra, that's the sex chakra. That's where your
Ooh,
emotions are. So literally,
yeah.
the fact that we're even having this conversation today, it's not by accident. It's by divine design. If you have not yet, like, if you don't even know who you are, you're going to attract somebody else who doesn't know who they are. And you guys are going to be blaming each other and doing emotionally manipulative things, because that's
Yeah.
just the programming that you're going into. So when you're cleansing out, you're really able just to cleanse out things that are going to get in the way of you really finding like your complementary pair, the person who
Yeah.
like reflects the best aspects of you. So this is really all around that. This eating well isn't even about, yes, being healthy, but then, okay, great. Yes, I want to have someone who's emotionally healthy, and I want to have my mate. Like, I want somebody to share my
Yeah.
love with. So this helps with that as well.
It sure does. So our question from Nancy was, do you have a recommendation or suggestion of a basic fast for someone who has never done this before?
A basic fast, like a fast as in eating no food. Like, what kind of fast? Are we talking about a dry fast? Are we talking about a liquid fast? Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a fast. This is a cleanse. So you really, if you wanted to kind of eat everything you want, I tell people you can, like, eating raw food, you can eat everything you want and you're still probably going to drop a pound a day. But quite honestly, you're not going to even be that hungry on certain days. Why? Because you're actually now digesting and processing your emotions that have been stored in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that a lot of times when we're holding on to things, like, it's energy, we're holding on and they need to be digested. Like, holding on to stuff, like, it adds weight and it adds things. So I would say, yeah, it is there. I don't like, I guess this would be kind of basic if you're looking to kind of get started, but this is not a fast, like a dry fast. I haven't done that yet. Yeah, that's real hard in the paint. I don't even have anything
Yeah.
for you, but there are people, I'm sure, if you go look up how to do dry fast, Google will be your friend. And a
Yeah.
liquid fast, you can just do juices as well, or
Mm-hmm.
water. I know a lot of people who have done them. I've done a juice fast. I have not done like a water fast. I haven't done that yet. I'll
Yeah.
get there, but I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good where I'm at. When I get there, I don't know. I might leave this planet. The light might be just way too bright. I might just skyrocket up. So.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Like, I swear to God, I was, and thinking of like who to talk to about this. I was like, I just have to find a way to get her, because this is so in alignment. Like, this conversation, just from everything that I see that you care about and promote, is just like the energy, spirituality, and the connection. I just think it's great. So, follow-up question was, did you always know you wanted to be a chef, and how did you find your career in the industry?
So I did not always know I wanted to be a chef, but I always knew that food was a huge part of my life. Like, I've been
Mhm.
cooking since I was 8 years old. When I was 9 years old, I got a wok for Christmas because I used
Mhm.
to go over my mom's friend's house, and I used to cook egg rolls, and we used to watch Tales from the Crypt. Like, I'd be like, I'm gonna bring my wok, I'm gonna make these egg
That's
rolls.
awesome.
So I've always loved like, it's that, it literally is my gift. And
Mhm.
so when I'm trying to think, then even like like I went to film school, And my final project was like a lifestyle cooking show. So
Yeah.
even then, like, and it didn't end up staying in, you know, it, like, even when I was in, when I was in production, was like always by craft services, like, you know what you should do here? And they were like, who are you? Like, dude, go take that script somewhere.
Yeah.
And I got fired and I started my business. I had a download, like literally. I saw it all. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my business. I'm gonna take all my industry contacts, and I knew exactly what I was gonna do. Like, I had a download. Now, how I was gonna do it, you know, I didn't know that. And I started my business during a time in my life called a Saturn return, which anybody who knows about a Saturn return understands how, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, Saturn will come through and literally beat you like your mama would with a switch if you did something. Like, and I got beat so bad. Because I didn't know. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? I'm just like a nice person. And now I understand, or years later I understood. But yeah, like trial and error. I made a list of everybody who I want to work with. I'm gonna work with Rihanna. I'm gonna work with this. I'm gonna work with, like, I had a download, a vision. This is what my shirt's gonna look like. Like, I had a download, a straight vision, and that actually was a card that we pulled today in our Zoom call, was vision. So I know about vision. Like, everything in my life is done by vision, you know, and I just step into it. You know, we have to be visionary. Sight is one thing, but vision, that's something else. And yeah, I made a list of everybody who I wanted to work with, and I just kept it moving, and it happened, you know.
Yeah. That's so fantastic. I could just hear you talk all day. So rapid fire questions. Okay, so would you rather eat out or dine in?
I like eating out.
You do? Well, you're a fine diner, so like, me too.
I like eating out. Like, like, I love eating. I grew up eating out. Like, my dad, we used to eat out all the time. Like, I love eating out.
I feel that. Would you prefer to be broke or lonely?
I mean, well, I don't get lonely because I have, you know, so I'll take lonely, because broke is no. But I'm not gonna be lonely, like, because even I haven't dated, like, I'm good. But yeah, I'll take lonely, because we ain't gonna be broke.
Right.
If I'm broke, that also means that something within me is broken. And so I'll take lonely.
Okay. What is the best dating advice or relationship advice you've ever heard or received?
Yeah. See, let me just, I haven't dated in so long.
We gotta talk about this. Like, what's up?
Because like, literally, for when I have used in the past, I have used work as an excuse. And then I'm just like, you know, I've like dated a little bit, or like, I just, you know, that's that masculine energy in me. I'd be like, oh my gosh, you know, they're cool. They might say something. I'd be like, I'm just not feeling them anymore. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just not feeling them anymore. Or, you know, like, we could definitely talk about that, you know, because I definitely, like, literally in my chart, like, this is supposed to be my year. Like, no, you could have like 7 husbands. Like, I'm telling you, the energy. I'm like, really? Can I take some of that and put it over to the cash part too? Can I get that well popping with that as well? So I take both of those, but I do, I don't have any advice. I mean, the advice I would say would be to, you know, heal yourself. That's really my advice. And that's probably why, because a lot of these years I have been working on healing myself, because I didn't want to go into any type of relationship, you know, damage, and attracting another partner that's damaged and dealing with that. Like, I don't even have time for it, especially where I'm at. It's a few keywords you could say. And this is great. You know what? Thank you so much for your time. As a matter of, no, I'm not going to take care of the bill, but yes, thank you. Thank you for the meal. That was, you know, and then I suggest, like, great, let's just meet, like, for somewhere simple first. Like, I don't even want you to spend a whole bunch of money, so you thinking like I'm supposed to do something for you. Like, no, let's go ahead. Let's meet here. You can see my energy, although I think you already know my energy. Let me see your energy, and let's see where this is going to go. And, but yeah, I would need to make time for that. So, you know.
Would Chef Ameera date another chef?
Yeah. Would I date another? You know what? I would, because quite honestly, I actually like, I like my time. I like, I don't need some, like, you know, and I love, like, the whole couple that boot up. Yes, we in a bed, like, for a few days. And then I'm like, okay, I need my space. And I'm sure you need your space. So that could work, because I have done, like, long distance relationships. And I would, because the hours.
It's the same. I feel like
that. Actually, you know what? That's me. See, this is me and my Piscean self. I'm like, I could do it, but it just depends. Right. It depends. I need to know, like, I need to kind of know, like, it really depends.
I almost feel like they have like similar energy. I mean, the way chefs operate in the kitchen and the dominance and just the power, I almost feel like that energy would be interesting to you.
You know what? It would be. It would be. Yeah, I would have, I think it would just depend. It would depend upon their energy. I even need to look at their chart. I need to understand like where we're compatible at. We just might not be compatible,
Yeah.
You might have too much earth for me. I might be too much water and fire for you.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Okay. I like it. If you could pick, and this is kind of like the last question, if you could pick anybody to, assuming we had time to prepare for this quarantine, if you could pick anybody to spend the quarantine with, who would it be and why?
Like this supposed to be like somebody dating, like,
Maybe.
Or
Maybe.
I mean, well, I don't have anybody. You know what? If I just pick anybody to be, okay, you know what? I choose an island. I would be in St. Lucia quarantining. Because there's a plethora of everything that I need out there. So that's what I would do.
Yeah. I will say that your vacation goals are definitely my goals. Because I have noticed that you have been living like the great life on the islands.
Oh, and the islands love me. I love the islands. I know. I have past lives in the islands. Like, and I know this. I said it back when I didn't even know really what a past life was, but now I get it. Like, I come alive. Like the combination of the water element and the fire, which is the sun. Like that's predominantly my makeup. If we look at my cosmic makeup, like my chart is predominantly water and fire. So those are environments that I do well in. So, yeah, like that. That's exactly. I choose St. Lucia. So
I love it.
And I just want to send a shout out to everybody who is just like, like literally, you guys. And I think there was one question. Saturn is retrograde right now. Oh yeah, no, Saturn retrograde. Y'all need to check Saturn. I'm telling you, if your stuff ain't tight, you better see where Saturn is in your chart. Because you go, oh my goodness, I didn't know this was gonna happen. It was right in your chart. You just chose to be, ignorantly bliss. And sometimes it happens, but you must know, like when we buy something and we have a manual, like that is your chart. Like, so when people telling you like, no, you have a chart. That is your chart. That has been the biggest lie that's been told. No, you have your chart. It's going to tell you your energy, like understanding. If you know your chart, then you know certain things. That's why I'm good right now. And I'm going to be good. Because I've done my work. And when I was not doing my work, when I did not have my spiritual foundation, everything in my life kept falling apart. I would manifest because I'm a master manifester, but I would lose it just as fast because I had no foundation. I had my roots were not planted in anything. So once I planted my roots in something, I just began to flourish, and you can't stop me.
Well, I love this conversation. This has been great talking to you, Chef Ameera. I'm so glad we could do this.
I am too.
I'm so happy. And we need to definitely talk about dating.
We really do, because I don't get out too much, but I would like to.
It's going to change. I know 2020 is a crapshoot for all of us right now.
No, it's not. No. And I get it. It's like, but still like, no. It's still gyms out here. But I get what you're saying, might be a time to be, interviewing a few people for the team. So, we can talk.
Yes, we can.
Interview people on the roster. And that's for me also, like, I used to always be so much like, just dating. I'm gonna date one person. As I start to get older, I'm like, why would that be open? Like, you should be dating a few people, and I should be dating a few people, and we should just be honest about it. Like, okay, so this is what I'm doing. I don't need to hear all about your dates and stuff like that. No. When we're together, it's all about me, and you're and I'm gonna be all about you. But I think that that's healthy, and I think that it's just so many just the programming that we've been sold, like it just does not work with our spiritual system. It doesn't. It goes against it, and that's what's happening right now. Is that there are a few of us that are waking up, and then some people, I guess, they like the programming, and it's time to really if that's what you want, okay, keep doing more of that, or if you want something different, now is the time to create that.
Right.
And so let's definitely talk about that though.
For sure. So where can people find you? What are you up to? How can they connect?
You can find me at On any of the social media platforms, I'm at Chef Ameera, or Ameera Muhammad on Facebook. And like right now, my focus is my elevate your vibration, my chakra cleanse, and I have a few other offerings. If you want private coaching, you can work with me as well. Like literally, as one of my mentors and teachers told me, I resurrect shit. That's what I do. Like if there's an aspect of your life where you're dead in, you're literally walking dead, I can help bring you back to life. You have to do your work. I do my work. I literally assist you. I'm like basically the bridge to you starting to live and thrive again. I'm all about, helping people thrive, not just survive. Survival is thriving is what we were born to do. We know we're kings and queens and goddesses. Well, right now the universe is asking us to step up. Okay, y'all done said all that stuff and done all them damn events and retreats and everything. So where all these goddesses at? We want to see, okay, come on now, let's do this. All you kings, that's what the universe is asking us to step out and really just show all these works. Since we've been claiming all this stuff, now is the time to show and prove. So I'm doing my part by doing that. And I'm going to be bringing some things back with my Black Girl Magic recipes. I created that 3 years ago, and I planted some seeds, but I still had some work and some journeying to do to myself. I needed to be traveling, and I needed to activate like aspects of myself. And I'm here, and I'm ready to do the work, and I'm ready to help others do the work.
That's awesome.
Yes. So if they find and if you go to my website at www.chefameera.com. Like all things Chef Ameera, if you Google me, you'll find me. But just a simple, just DM me. So if you guys had other questions, you're looking, if you felt like inspired, like you're like, oh my goodness, I know I've been talking about it. You've been seeing a lot of different things about eating healthier, and then you saw this. And that's just letting you know that your higher self is like, it's time to take action, and it's time just to stop on the fence and looking in the window. Like no more window shopping. It's time to be about it.
Yes, I'm totally about that life. Love you so much. Thank you, Chef Ameera.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you, and I'm sure we'll be talking again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate you as well.
Yes, bye.
Bye.
That was fantastic, guys. Like, she just gave you thousands of dollars worth of information. Well, thank you for tuning in to Happy Hour. We are live every single Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Next week, we're going to be talking to Lisa Ray McCoy, the actress, and we're going to be talking about dating again, relationships from her point of view, getting her perspective as a woman of color who's out there in the market, getting her perspective about everything. It's just going to be a really great conversation. So I hope you tune in, you tune back. Following that, we're going to be again every Tuesday, just having happy hour. So in case you're looking for me, I'm at the Jasmine Diaz. Have a great, wonderful evening. Take care.